don't know how else to show you when I'm on it. It definitely, Ruth, I'm a moron. All I had to do was click the other picture. I didn't realize that. What the
Welcome back, BVB Army. Welcome back to our channel, BVB Army Hearts to Hearts. I am Ruth.
And I'm Nicole.
Nicole, we're in March already. Holy
I don't know where this year is going, but the months are just zooming by.
So I don't know if this is for anyone else who is watching or listening, but like as an educator, I was talking to my coworkers and we were like, where's the year going, the school year going by? Because like it felt like months are just blinking on our eyes right now before our spring break, and then obviously the end of the school year. Like we're halfway there. We are halfway done. And we're like, I just felt like last week it was our first week of school.
Yeah, you guys only have like 2.5 months left.
Ish, yeah, we have March, April, May, and then a little bit of June. So,
Oh, that's right. Okay, we are at the beginning. I didn't count March. I kind of counted just April, May, then like half of June.
No, March is gonna be a challenging one here, guys, because love is in the air for a lot of my older kids, and it's the month before spring break. So,
And everyone becomes antsy.
very, oh my God, so many antsy kids. I have stories. So, anyway, guys, welcome back to our channel. We have a couple things to talk about for this episode. So it's going to be kind of a short episode, but are going to talk about some announcements that have been announced in the BVB Army world. So let's get to it. So let's get the first one out of the way. I know it was announced like last month and stuff. Black Veil Brides are coming back to Warped Tour.
Warped Tour is back, and like I'm happy, but at the same time, it is confusing to have it back just for like
3 days or 3 weekends or like, yeah.
It's turned out to just be one of those festivals that happen once a year.
It's Warped Tour. It should be a tour. Like, I get it. They're stopping. Obviously, they're making 3 stops. They're making a stop in the summer in DC, Washington, DC.
Long Beach, California.
Long Beach, yeah, sorry. So Long Beach, and then last but not least, in November, Orlando.
And those, I can't lie, the months are actually the dates, I should say, are very sprawled out.
Kind of, a little bit.
Up to November.
I remember hearing about the news about Warped Tour coming back. I'm like, ooh, it just brought me back to memories to my first Warped Tour I ever went to.
I really do miss Warped Tour. I can't lie. When Ruth told me about the prices of this Warped Tour, and I was like, damn, because
Okay, let's talk about it. So, for anyone who grew up with us in the same generation, most of us have been to Warped Tour when they would travel to city, state to state. And lucky enough, Nicole and I had been to a Warped Tour where we both saw Black Veil Brides perform and everything, which was really cool. But I feel like now Warped Tour is going to be different compared to when we went to Warped Tour when we were in a teenager years. Because teenager us, how much were the tickets? Like $30 or something?
They were between 25 and 30.
Yeah, $30. This Warped Tour that's coming up for every reason, general admission is almost like to $250.
Just to get in. That doesn't even include VIP or anything.
No, if we want to talk about VIP, that is up to almost $500 per ticket.
I mean, okay, I understand the pricing because Warped Tour, it's been gone for a long time. And if this is going to be kind of an annual thing where it's only like once it only plays in a few states for just one weekend, or for several weekends in different states, I can understand the price being at the point it is, because I'm sure other festivals are like that. I think I've never been to another festival beyond Warped Tour.
I've never been to a festival beyond Warped Tour, and like I almost feel like this new Warped Tour is going to be the new When We Were Young festival that they do in Las Vegas. So if Warped Tour does repeat itself, like okay, but even still, like the prices. Ouch. Like no joke, guys. I even called Nicole and told her this. Like I was highly considered, because if you look on the Warped Tour website itself, DC is sold out, California is sold out, Orlando's the only one that's still available to go to and have tickets and stuff. So you could join the wait list, but I don't know if there's any guarantees. But I literally was looking at the dates. I'm like, this could possibly work. It could be for my birthday celebration. Nicole and I can go to Orlando. We both have friends near Orlando and stuff, so we can crash at their place and stuff. And then I looked at the ticket price and I'm like,
I know. Okay, I know it's one of those, but like the price typically wouldn't be bad if we lived there, but then you got to think of flight, and the flight is what kills.
fight with kills and just like shelter, a roof over her
Yeah,
head.
in case of our friends are like, you guys.
No, I think I would convince my BFF lives around there, so I'm like, dude, we will sleep on the floor with your cat Milo.
Really? Oh my God. I'm very sad because I'm not going to work tour this year.
No, I will not be too. I will say, Nicole and I have something in plan in the summer and stuff. So we have spent our money and been saving our money for that event and stuff. So unfortunately, we cannot go to this Warped Tour, obviously extravaganza, which sucks because of course Black Flip Rice is going to be performing. Although they're only performing at the California and Orlando, not the DC one.
The Orlando one is kind of exciting though because we've all gone to Warp Tour in summer and this one will be in November, so that will be really unique.
Well, it's Orlando, so very humid there.
True. Yeah, with it being in Florida, it's still going to be hot and everything, so I guess it'll be like summer.
Dude, I miss my first Warped Tour experience. Like I that was when in the end our Wretched and Divine album just dropped and everything. They were in that era and stuff. I only went there strictly for Black Veil Brides.
So I think that was the worst part is going to Warp Tour, finding their set list, and may I mind everyone going to Warp Tour at like 7 in the morning, just so that way it doesn't even gates don't even open till what 9 or 10. But
Yeah.
you wait, it's a long line, and you need to get to the tent to get like the VIP or whatever, and finding out that Black Veil Brides doesn't perform until like 5 o'clock at night, and then I'm like, what am I going to do to waste time? Obviously, there's other bands, but I can't lie. Back then, like I was monogamous with just Black Veil Brides.
I mean, I will say, so I dragged my friend over because I didn't want to go by myself. And so, luckily for us, there was a lot of tents and booths, like of companies and stuff that had a lot of like interactive games. So we spent our whole entire day in one booth just playing games and games and games. And then, like, there was a water slide that was available for us. So we got to cool off and everything and stuff. There was like a paint station, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of things were free, if I recall, rememberly. But yeah, Black Veil Brides didn't play until like for me, 5 or 6 p.m.
Yeah, it was relatively the same, but I guess the only difference is, unless I just didn't pay attention, I don't remember my Warp Tour having like any fun water slides or any fun activities to do. I think most of the day for me and Hudson was spent in a shaded grass area, just talking, hanging out, taking a nap until Black Veil Bride set.
But it's really cool that Black Veil Brides is going back to Warped Tour because I was curious because I know obviously whoever's in charge of the Warped Tour was slowly announcing all the bands and I'm like, is Black Veil Brides going to be a part of it? Because as we all know, Andy went to Warped Tour when he was young and stuff, and he loved Warped Tour. I mean, obviously that's where he met his wife, Lilith, and everything, and them performing at Warped Tour was huge. And obviously he performed there when he was doing a solo project, Andy Black, too. So
Yeah, what was it? Andy just posted on like Instagram and Twitter some photos. There's like 5 or 6 of them, but it's all photos strictly of when him and Juliet like first got together and they're on Warp Tour together. If you haven't seen them, check them out on his page.
you're so cute. No, because like I know for Andy, I don't know about the rest of the guys, Warped Tour meant a lot and stuff. So I'm glad they were able to go to a couple of the tour dates shows and stuff. So
I can't lie, I really do wish that Warp Tour never ended, just due to the fact that now that I have like branched out and I like obviously Black Veil Bride's always number one, but there's obviously other bands and music out there, and going to Warp Tour now I understand. I understand.
there's a lot of bands. I know there's some bands performing in other dates and stuff. So like for the Orlando, obviously there's still bands being announced and cover. Falling Reverse, as we saw, is performing once again. I think I saw Ice Nine Kills somewhere in a DC somewhere. I think I don't know if I saw Motionless. I'm looking at their Orlando list right now.
Oh, they're strictly the Orlando one.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Orlando just because that's the only one available. But yeah, there's Black Veil Brides. Oh yes, and then Crown the Empire, Escape the Fates.
Oh my God, Power Wolf, you guys, Power Wolf. Oh my God, Rob Zombie too. Yes,
Somber.
there's a lot of amazing bands that are going to be there.
A
Very
lot.
diverse.
It makes me wonder, okay, so you know how when we went to Warped Tour and we got into like the campus or slash area of Warped Tour, I remember Because I saw this when we were young festival was first coming out for the first time. For Warped Tour, you got to see the big inflatable whatever lists of bands that were playing and what times and what stage, right?
Inflatable. I'm trying to remember.
It was my thing was like an inflatable that had a full list of like each of the stage and then all the bands playing and what time. Because we
Uh,
didn't get a heads up of like, oh, this band's going to be here and here and at that time. No, we knew what stage and time as we walked into the area for Warped Tour, as we walked in.
yeah, I mean that was the same here. I don't think mine was on a inflatable thing. I think ours was just paper plastered everywhere though. So ours was
My,
so fun. Yours was
my
fun.
my question is this time around with this Warped Tour, are they gonna go like, okay, here's where all the plants are playing and stuff, here's the stage, or are you gonna stick with your roots and like, no, you're gonna find out on the day of?
They better do that one. It's Warped Tour. They have to stick with how they did things originally.
I mean, come on, it is Warped Tour.
You can't change this. Don't They cannot just change how they used to be. It will not be Warped Tour without that.
I have a feeling it's not going to do that. They're gonna announce the whole thing before the first Warped Tour date and everything.
Maybe. I guess we'll find out.
Well, fine. It'll be interesting though to see on social, like when the DC thing happens in June here, of like all the events, what booths they have, the stages, the area that they're playing in and stuff. It would be really cool. And I know it's weird because it's like in our generation, let's face it, we're mostly in our 30s going to Warped Tour. Well,
Mhm.
yeah, we're mostly, I mean, don't get me wrong, some young fans are going to be there. Awesome. But like the true, like us, our generation, we're in our 30s. So it's just like, congrats for those who are going. I hope you guys have an amazing time. But also, it's like, it's nostalgia because like it's Warped Tour. We've been in teenager years and stuff. So is it going to be similar? Or is it going to be a more advanced Warped Tour like when we were young festival? And that's where I'm thinking of. It's going to be more like the when we were young festival.
It's going to be more advanced and everything. If I can already tell you now, if you and I were going, it would not be the same as the way it was back when we went, but maybe it would still be fun.
If they don't have a domo tent, Warped Tour, we're talking.
Oh my God. Yes, I even remember that thing being at my Warped Tour.
Domo was huge during Warped Tour.
Well, I'm wondering too, like, was it almost like sponsoring Warped Tour in
I
a
don't
way?
know. There were so many sponsors when it came to Warped Tour and stuff. So I just remember from my first year, I was so excited, not knowing what was going to happen. And obviously, tons of music playing and bands playing and just exploring music in general and stuff. So it's like that saying, we listen and we don't judge.
Well, and I think that's what's so fantastic about hopefully everyone's Warped Tour is like this. You always get those bad apples, but it really should be a place where everyone comes together. We're all coming together for music. There really should be no shit talking there.
I am curious though, what set list BVB is going to have in mind for their Warped Tour shows because if I remember correctly, when we went to our Warped Tour BVB shows, obviously no one's headlining really. So everyone has like an even amount of time. So I wonder how much time they will have. I feel like obviously they're going to play like the classics. We all know In the End's going to be the last one, probably Bleeders. I swear to God, Black Philbrights, if you tease us or play a snippet of your new songs of your album, I will. You're probably going to do that. I know you are, but
Well, that was okay. Since you brought it up, I think if there's a single that at all gets released before they go on Warped Tour, they're definitely gonna play it.
you better not do it the day of the first Warped Tour. Like, by the way, guys, here's our new single. I'm like, fuck you, Andy.
I would be so heartbroken that we weren't there for it. Like, come on. But maybe they'll play Devil again.
Possibly. I'm just trying to think, like, because I just remember the first time I went, they just strictly stuck with Wretched and Divine mostly.
Yeah, the very first time I went, it was mostly Wretched and Divine. And I want to say it was primarily the second time too. I think every band gets like between 30, 45 minutes and they can 6 songs.
I do remember that's when the first Warped Tour I went to, BVB played Rebel, the cover, the first time. So that was my first time hearing it live. So that was really cool. Obviously, Wretched and Divine and stuff. And honestly, I can't remember all the songs they played, but I know it was a lot from Wretched and Divine.
Yeah, I think we can assume that Black Veil Brides, as you stated, In the End and Bleeders, I do think they'll play at least one cover because I only went to 2 Warped Tours, but each time they each did a cover.
Fair. So we'll see. And I'm excited to see all the fans go in there and stuff. And If they have a merch tent, if someone's at the DC or California or Orlando going, please DM me. I will send you money if you want to get me something. I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
I'm wondering too, will they have new merch at the booth?
I mean, that's where I got the water bottle, the Black Phillip
Yeah.
Bright water bottle, and you got the beach ball, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot what
And
else they had. I know they had shirts and stuff, a bandana,
yeah, and then we have the sunglasses and everything.
sunglasses. Yeah, so I wonder what are they going to sell? Are they going to bring back the sunglasses? Are they going to bring back the water bottles? Are they going to bring back the war sticks?
So like Ruth said, we will send you guys money. Please.
It'll be interesting. So I'm sure whoever is going, I know a lot of people are going. I hope you guys have fun. Take tons of photos and videos because we will be scrolling on social media to see all of them.
Yes, everyone must have extra fun just for us.
See, another thing we want to touch base is okay, Andy. Hello, sir. Andy. You, sir, are a busy bee, Andy. I swear to God, is there nothing you can't do?
I know.
There is nothing this man cannot do.
He just constantly stays busy. And I think I saw something from Chris where it relates to a lot of anxiety, and just constantly staying busy and doing things really helps to suppress that, or at least, I should say not suppress, I should say it helps to subside that. But yeah, hello, Andy, with working with Rare Bird again.
And you're coming out with 4 books.
For all this year, but different times of the seasons.
And it's so Andy has partnered with Rare Bird. If you do not know Rare Bird, it's a book company who did his first book. They Don't Need to Understand, his first book, and then they also did the Edgar Allan Poe book, and I think that was it.
Those are the only two.
Yeah, those were the only 2. I know the main one was Andy's first book where he wrote his autobiography about his life and stuff we don't have to understand, which was really amazing. I was so excited to read it. Obviously, I read it like within the first day. And then they did the Alan Edgar Poe one and stuff. And now Andy has partnered up with them and basically created his own book or publishing name, I guess, if you want to call it. I don't know the technical terms. Knives and Pens Publishing. And it says here on the website, Knives and Pen Publishing is committed to crafting immersive, atmospheric, collectible editions of horror. Each novella is imprint, a catalog features, reimagined public dominant stories and wholly original tales, blah, blah, blah. I mean, like, Knives and Pen Publishing.
Which I love. I love that that it's called that. It could.
I like the logo too. It's just a circle with the knife, but then there's like a little blood drop. So BVB fans know.
Yes. So like we said, 4 books are coming out. One's coming out in spring, summer, fall, and winter. Like I said, all seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Very first book coming out is the first vampire, which I'm excited about.
I love vampires. I mean, as soon as I saw this announcement, I went to the website because I know Andy also posted on his Instagram stories that, like, obviously it's gone now. If you wanted to get a signed autograph of the first book, pre-order it now. And then I know you can also get the bundle, pre-order the bundle, correct?
Yeah. And you can pre-order all the books signed as a bundle as well. Obviously, signed is going to be more expensive. Unsigned is not. I splurged and went with the bundle. I unfortunately didn't buy the signed ones because I'm trying to be a responsible adult.
So I did not pre-order the bundle. I just pre-ordered the first book, and yes, I got the signed one and stuff because of money. I was a little tight on money, but I figured I'll just purchase them as they come out and stuff. That way, I almost felt, oh wait, okay, because do we know if all the 4 books are coming out on the same date the first book is coming out, or like how is the bundle going to work? Because like I feel like if you ordered the bundle and the first book comes out, I'm sorry, just curiosity.
Yeah, no, so what it said was, so obviously if you only order the first book, I should say pre-order because that's what it's on right now, you will get the first book in springtime when it ships. Now if you pre-order the whole bundle, whether it's signed or not, you're gonna get them as they get released. So since I ordered the bundle, I'll get the first vampire that will come out, and then when the second book is ready to ship, I won't have to worry about going in and ordering it because I've got the bundle, so it will just automatically ship to me when it's ready to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so there's four books. The first book, the first vampire is going to come out, and the cover looks dope. It says on the cover, the memoir of blood, vengeance, and immortality, which is really cool.
mhm.
Bleeders, we see on the book cover, looks like a little boy with two shattering figures with red eyes, and it does say the terrible tale of Sweeney Todd. So I guess I answered my own question. It looks like it's going to maybe be Sweeney Todd inspired.
It's inspired, definitely. I think it's going to be like Andy's own version
Do you
with.
think? Do you think? Hear me out. It's just a theory, guys. We saw the Bleeders music video, right? You know, there's a story in that music video. Are we gonna get the rest of that story in the Bleeders book?
I'm so glad you brought that up because I 100% think so. With him as the kid version in there, I think the book is going to be all where it starts. But watch us be wrong.
No, Andy, I swear to God, if that's not the case, you're gonna break my heart. I mean, I'll still love you no matter what, but that would be dope because, like, at least from all these singers and artists and bands I listen to when it comes to music videos, minus Lady Gaga, she's going to continue it. Other different topic, but no other. I don't think other artists have done created like a book to continue on the story of the music video itself. Because obviously we kind of got a little with Black Veil Brides, but Wretched and Divine with the whole short film and stuff. Because the whole album is a story, so we did get that. But like other like for example, The Phantom Tomorrow. Like, we still don't know about Nine and Blackbird and stuff because, you know, that company. So,
I really hope that maybe it will get revived by a better company. We'll see.
we'll see. But if that Bleeders book, which comes out, which is the second book in his series, goes on board of the story that we saw in the Bleeders music video, dope.
Yes, that'll be great.
Revenger is the next one, and it is He is the Shadow in Your Dreams. Okay, I will admit, when I first saw this cover of the art and stuff, I was like, that looks like John Wick.
That looks like John Wick. I mean,
John
okay.
Wick, the boogeyman. Dude, come on, John Wick. What the pencil?
Yeah, but hold on. This is totally wrong. But now that we're kind of throwing out conspiracy theories, I have one of my own with Revenger. If you look at the book, I know you say it gives John Wick vibes, but it's also in like this big, gigantic black coat that almost looks similar to Blackbird.
Don't get me wrong, I was looking at that too, and I'm like, okay, he is in the shadows in your dreams. I'm like, it could be inspiration from Blackbird and stuff, and the character there. Because again, once again, I don't mean to be petty, but I'm going to be petty. That company who screwed off all of us in Black Veil Brides about the comic books, we didn't understand the full backstory of Blackbird.
I know, or Nine. So it's
Last book we have is I just lost it.
the Black Madonna.
Black Madonna. And what does it say on the cover? In the City of Angels, shadows have secrets. Okay.
So definitely City of Angels. It's going to be based out in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Okay. So I know this is probably two different things, but I wonder if he got inspired. So the book cover is Black Madonna, right?
Mm-hmm.
And did this happen in LA? I don't know. I don't think it did happen in LA. I want to say it happened in New York. A long time ago, you probably heard of the case, the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know why my mind went to the Black Dahlia and the whole that case and everything, and now I see the Black Madonna. I'm like, inspiration? Maybe?
Maybe. Yeah. I honestly, I could not tell you where that happened at, but maybe it could be. I feel like, I don't know. That's what I'm kind of curious about is do all these stories hold inspiration from something else, or is this all just coming straight out of Andy's mind?
Well, luckily for us, Rare Bear gives us a little blur of each book here. So for the first vampire, Val is the Empire vampire. Blah, blah, blah. The first vampire reveals a shocking original of vampirish born of the blood plague that transforms the battlefield into bleeding grounds for the undead. Throughout the years, Val's eldest son, Andre, the novella explored the clash between dark magic, loyalty, and ancient curses will hunt humanity for generations. A chilling reimagining of Dracula's origins, bridge history fiction with gothic terror, redefining the boundaries of historical horror in the new generation.
Yeah, I'm digging the first vampire. It gives me Nosferatu vibes.
I just love vampires in general in middle school and still right now, especially in middle school. In high school, it was bad. I went through this whole vampire phase. Like, I was reading every single vampire book I can get my hands on and stuff, minus Twilight. Get that out of here.
Twilight ruined vampires for me. I
Get
can't
it
lie.
out of here. I read the book series that they made. A horrible movie, by the way. A Circuit de Freak. I don't know if you ever heard of that book.
What was it?
Circuit de Freak.
No.
Oh, it's a really good vampire book. It was about a boy and his friend, and then vampires, and it came with like a freak show and stuff. They made a movie, horrible movie, but but the book was really good. And then I remember that I went into another wormhole, and then I found my favorite romantic horror vampires called Vampire Kisses, and I'm like, I was obsessed with those series. I read it like 100 times. I have a lot of the books here still, so.
See, I can't lie. When I think of vampires, like I definitely go back to Nosferatu or the Lost Boys.
Oh yeah, the Lost Boys.
Yeah, those are kind of more like the vampires that I imagine like in my head. And with the even with the description of the first vampire book that he wrote, where it says that it reveals like that or it has that plague type thing. Yeah. It reminds me of the newest Nosferatu because that is about that vampire that carries a plague around with him everywhere he goes. So that's why it gives me very it's probably nothing related to Nosferatu, but that's what it reminds me of.
Okay, so I'm really intrigued to read the first book. Honestly, I'm gonna expose myself here, guys. I'm not a bookworm. I'm just not. I'm not. I know there's a lot of people who love reading books, and congrats for you. I've tried and I just can't. But if it's a book that I will be invested in, or who I love the artist or the people, I will read it. So just like Andy's first book about himself, I read that within a day. Probably with this other book. I don't know how long this book is going to be or how many chapters, but I'll probably read it within a day.
Well, I'm kind of the same. But I guess for me, I love reading autobiography books such as Andy's, and I read like some of my favorite wrestlers. But I also grew up. I know you read the Goosebumps book just like I did, but I also love R.L. Stine in general. So I read a lot of his whole Fear Street collection and Stephen King's horror books. But beyond those two authors and then just autobiography, I don't really read too many books. But what I'm excited for with Andy's, because it does state on the Rare Bird site that these are novellas. So it's not novel, but it's also not quite, I don't think, comic book style. So what's a novella or novella? Hopefully I'm saying that right, but what is that?
Wait, are you serious? You don't know what a novella is?
Bruh, it's me. No, I don't.
Sorry, I just assume. Okay, this is probably bad in my part because, like,
so that's why I said I'm not quite.
I know novellas just because I don't know how to word this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find out the words. I don't want to come off like typical stereotype anything, but it's true though. Okay, so I know novellas because I'm just gonna say I grew up with a Hispanic mom, 100%, and most Hispanic women, not all of them, but most of them, when they get older, they watch these TV shows called telenovelas, which are basically like soap operas. They're like dramatic and stuff about the plot and stuff. So novellas. So like in this part, I'm seeing like, okay, this is going to be a dramatic, like it's kind of like play and very dramatic screenwrite or whatever story. So like in the first vampire one, I'm assuming, okay, this is vampire, battlefield, plague. Okay, it's going to be intense. There's going to be a lot of intensity, dramaticity and stuff. So that's, yeah.
Okay, I never knew that the term was novella, but I absolutely love that because now this just tells me all I need to know about these books.
If we want to get technical, this is what Google says about novella. A novella is a narrated post-fiction whose length is shorter than most novellas, but longer than most novelties and short stories. It's going to be interesting to read it. So I've read some novella books where some chapters are longer than others and some are shorter. So I'm curious to see how Andy formed that. So.
Yeah, that's the same here. That's why when I first read that, I wasn't sure if it was like a bigger like a unique term for like a novel, but not. So now I am curious to know how thick these books are going to be and how many chapters they are.
I know you can obviously look on the Rare Bird website and read each blurb, but I'm looking at Bleeders. Yeah, falsely accused orphan by the corrupted system, Sweeney Todd sharpened his razors, a blood crusade against those who destroy his life. Partnering with Mrs. Lovett, owner of her own thirst and vengeance, his victims become both justice and source of his victims' times, both justice and source of letter traits, a reflex of city's moral discard. Yeah, so Bleeders is basically a Sweeney Todd inspired book.
Yeah. Okay. I was reading a little bit of The Revenger. This just confirms my Blackbird theory even more.
Okay, I'm reading it. Hang on. Oh, okay.
It's very Phantom Tomorrow-like. It has like similar traits.
I'm intrigued. Again, go to the website. We'll post like the little blur. And then the Black Madonna. Okay, so Black Madonna's in Hollywood. Okay, it looks like conspiracies, forbidden love, terror. Okay, interesting.
Oh, I'm excited for the Black Madonna. And I think I'm wondering if there's reasons for each book to come out in certain seasons too. It's Andy. There's an Easter egg for everything. The man hurts my brain.
Literally post things and stuff for a reason. And again, I don't know. And I'm also curious which each book drop that's coming out here. I wonder if they're going to give like more added additional things to it, like merch or something, or book covers. I'm just saying, because some books, I mean, let's just take an example, Wicked. That was a book first before the show and movie. So, and then it got big and a lot more merch was dropped with it.
Let's just assume that there's going to be merch that comes out with it. If there is, I think it will be the book drops first, maybe merch comes later.
And honestly, I'm excited to read these. I love horror books. It's been a minute since I've read a horror book or an intensity book or any type of like romantic goth book and stuff. It's been a minute and I'm excited to read them. I swear, Andy makes me feel bad because I'm like, yeah, I'm a teacher, but I don't even have time to do my own art. And yet, here's Andy doing BVB number 7, writing books, doing tours. God knows what else he's doing.
Well, let's face it, the man doesn't sleep. We're aware about the little bit of insomnia that's going on there.
Oh, like he's close to our age, and he's doing all these amazing stuff, and I'm like, you make me feel bad. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm a teacher and stuff. Yeah, I have to tolerate and discipline and classroom management, and yeah, I create wonderful artwork. But in my personal life, I mean, I have my Funko Pop collection growing. That's not to brag about.
I feel you on that. Andy stays busy, and I feel like if I'm busy for 2 days, then the rest of the week I'm drained. So I want to know where he's getting all this energy from.
He's like, there has to be a source like Iron Man. Like he has like an Iron Man source for his heart or something.
Oh my God.
That's my theory. I'm so excited to read these books. I know we're going to get the first one, in March here? Is this month or is it next month?
Well, okay.
It says spring. Okay.
Yeah, it says spring. That's my B. I assumed it was March just because I think springtime happens in March. So I think spring it will be released, but it will probably be shipped between March and April. And then the second book is supposed to be released in summer.
So we'll wait. And yes, guys, when we do get our books, we will read them and go through it and make an episode about the book itself. But yeah, when we do get the book, we'll definitely read it and then meet together and to talk about what happened in the book.
This whole thing just dropped out of nowhere, just like the Edgar Allan Poe that Andy did.
Dude, seriously, I mean, I know Rare Bird and Andy posted like a little video clip of them partnering up, and then we got notified of the Knives and Pens publication and stuff. And I'm like,
yeah.
So I swear, guys, expect the unexpected when it comes to Andy Biersack.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's exactly what we need to go in expecting when we read these books too. You know what I'm actually really excited about with these books, since there's 4 of them, and Andy, I really hope that you actually make even more books, because now I have an excuse to buy those little bookends and put them on shelves. It'll be so awesome.
But no, we're really excited. I know a lot of fans have pre-ordered their books. Some have pre-ordered just like me, the first one, and some have ordered the full bundle and stuff. So we're super excited to read them and stuff and go over it, hear all the conspiracies and theories and stuff when it comes to the story plot too.
I look forward to these books. I think I just haven't read in a hot minute, and I'm excited to read again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right, BVB Army. Today's fan shout out goes to Stephanie Marie Calvert. She is on Twitter. You can find her at Steph Biersack 90. Stephanie, the fan shout out goes to you because we have been seeing your post all over Twitter. I think it's really cool that you like to do a spotlight on not only the Black Veil Bride members, but you also do a spotlight on the members' other halves. And sometimes you'll do it for like Chris Biersack or Mark Pitts. And I just think that's really cool of you. And you also throw a bunch of throwback photos and throwback videos. And you're kind of like, you're turning your page into what seems to be a main source of Black Veil Bride knowledge and photos and videos. And I think it's really helpful for a lot of newer fans who have not seen a lot of that older content, and it's also just nostalgic for us older fans. So thank you. We just love how much you love Black Veil Brides and how dedicated you are to them, and thank you for supporting Ruth and I. We greatly appreciate that. Fan shout out goes to you.
Well, I know today's episode was pretty short just because we kind of touched base on the Warped Tour and obviously the books itself, but we do have other ideas coming up. Obviously, we're continuing the fan stories here, so we're looking forward to that. And obviously, we're always on the look and updating and refreshing if any news when it comes to Black Veil Brides. We are excited for it. Honestly, I'm excited for their new album. I know Andy's been posting little teasers here and there on his Patreon. Also, Never Take It Off has a little bit of an exclusive right now if you haven't seen that. So if you if you order 3 of his items, you get an exclusive photo of what's happening, I think, in the studio for BVB 7.
I saw that and I'm like, I have to save money, but I want to order.
I splurge.
Oh, okay, I knew it. You are literally like the #1 fan for Never Take It Off.
I know. I love Never Take It Off. But we're excited, guys. Please remember you can find all of our social medias down below and stuff. Please go give us a follow. Where you can find our podcast on any streaming platform. Just type in BVB Army Hearts to Hearts. Please subscribe to our channel and everything. And with that, we will see you guys next week here. So, bye-bye.